Tonight on Q2, stopping the flow of illegal drugs.
The Mexican cartels are relentless. They're not going to stop.
We'll hear from the DEA's regional special agent to see if steps taken by President Trump are starting to work. Plus, an eye on leadership.
That's why I'm doing this, traveling around the state, trying to make sure as many students around the state understand that this is an option for them.
Montana Senator Tim Sheey pays a visit to Miles City High School, but not everyone is happy about it. The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us on this Monday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. Montana has seen firsthand the devastation that drugs like fentanyl can cause, addiction, overdoses, and crime. Stopping those drugs from coming into our country and our state is no easy task. I had a chance to sit down with the special agent in charge of the DEA's Rocky Mountain Field Office today for an update on how that effort is going and whether steps taken by the Trump administration are making a difference.
Really, if you can imagine it, that they've developed a way to sneak it across.
It's a constant battle for those on the front lines of the war on drugs. Jonathan Pullen is the special agent in charge for the DEA's Rocky Mountain Field Office.
We really expected to see a drop already in the supply coming into the United States because the border is so much tighter. However, that hasn't transpired yet.
Pullen says Mexican cartels are 100% to blame for the fentanyl that is finding its way to Montana, often with deadly consequences.
A pill of fentanyl is produced in Mexico for 2 to 4 cents. Okay, that same pill in Denver might sell between $2 and $5 per pill. Okay, incredible markup when it's only cost 2 cents to make it. By the time that pill makes it to the Blackfeet Indian Reservation, it can be sold for as high as $120 for one pill. So an incredible markup, incredible amount of money to be made by these criminal groups that are selling this poison. Half of the pills that DEA seized last year across the entire United States had a deadly dose of fentanyl in it.
While the problem isn't going away, Pullen believes some of the steps that the Trump administration has taken are already making a difference, including designating cartels as foreign terrorist organizations and invoking the Alien Enemies Act.
The ability to invoke that Title 50 rule has been really a game changer because now some of these people who are they're really only up here committing crimes, we can send them home.
While Pullen is hopeful that will help law enforcement, he also knows all too well the cartels won't back down easily.
But what I can tell you is that the Mexican cartels are relentless. They're not going to stop.
President Trump met with the president of El Salvador today at the White House. El Salvador has taken in migrants the Trump administration claims are criminals as part of their crackdown on immigration. That visit comes one day after the U.S. sent 10 more migrants to the country who the White House accuses of being gang members.
We have millions of people that should not be in this country that are dangerous.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration insists there is little it can do to bring 29-year-old Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. The Maryland father was deported to prison after an administrative error. The Supreme Court ruled the administration must facilitate his return, but the White House maintains he's a gang member. The Montana legislature has passed a bill that prevents public schools and state officials from acting against staff or students who do not use an individual's preferred name or pronouns. The measure, which is sponsored by Republican Representative Braxton Mitchell of Columbia Falls, is now headed to the governor's desk. That bill blocks individuals from facing disciplinary action for refusing to use a person's preferred pronouns or name, and it gives people a route to file suit if they do face any punishment. Opponents of the bill say it would give, quote, a license to bully trans kids, while supporters say it defends individuals' religious freedoms. Montana Senator Tim Sheey is visiting schools across Montana, but today one of those stops in Miles City was met by protest. That event was put on by the Office of Public Instruction and is aimed at encouraging students to pursue leadership and service opportunities. Marcus Kakova has more from the assembly and why it stirred up some debate.
Graduation's around the corner. The future is on the minds of many soon-to-be high school grads.
One way to go in the military and one way to go to college is the service academies. There are 5 service academies.
Senator Tim Sheey visited high schools in Lewistown and Miles City Monday, highlighting military service and academy opportunities.
So if you want to get a college education, you want to get a four-year degree, but you don't want to take out a large student loan, that's one way to go to college.
This speech at Custer County District High School is part of a series at schools around Montana put together with the Office of Public Instruction.
It's that time of year where students are thinking about applying for what they're going to do next. Montana, some years we don't have applicants or have all of our applicant spots full.
Alongside benefits, Sheey shared anecdotes from his own service, like life outside the U.S.
I was 19 years old, so back home in America, I wasn't allowed to drink alcohol, but I found out in Georgia what vodka tastes like, and Georgian vodka tastes a lot different than American vodka, I can tell you that.
Multiple community members tell me students were told by the school not to ask political questions. The school, however, says a limit on questions is standard for any assembly. This one, the focus wasn't meant to be partisan, political, but on leadership.
He should be talking to us. We don't bite. I understand he's a former Navy SEAL, and you have to be kind of a tough guy to be a Navy SEAL. And we don't know why he's afraid to meet with us.
Alongside a few parents pulling students from school, Mary Catherine Dunphy organized a group of individuals supported by Indivisible who wanted to express concern over Doge cuts to Sheey.
Overall, they were positive. They said they'd like to visit with him.
Sheey declined an interview with MTN about the event and left without speaking with protesters.
Oh, we just had a great town hall. It was great.
And if he refuses to answer questions, well, he can lecture us all he wants about what a good leader is, but a good leader talks to his constituents.
Marcus Kakova, MTN News.
Well, with summer looming, concerns continue inside Yellowstone National Park over layoffs implemented by the Department of Government Efficiency. And it's not just those inside the park who are worried about their futures. Jeff Galley, the owner of Campione Restaurant in Livingston, says a lot of the revenue for businesses in the area depend on tourism from Yellowstone. He believes the cuts at national parks could result in people seeing the parks as unstable and not having the resources to operate correctly.
The national parks have seen some of the biggest numbers ever, so to be losing staff at this time seems like something that will certainly impact people's experience in the park this summer, and that's going to directly impact how long they stay and how happy they are and whether or not they visit our businesses.
However, Montana Senator Steve Daines believes there shouldn't be any concern, saying he has, quote, been in close contact with Yellowstone Superintendent Cam Shawley, who has confirmed the park is fully equipped to continue accommodating visitors from far and wide. And officials are warning to expect delays in and around Livingston this summer due to construction on Interstate 90. 11 miles of I-90 between the Jackson Creek Road interchange and the I-90 Business Loop interchange just west of Livingston are slated for a multi-month project. Traffic will be reduced to one lane in each direction, and speed limits will be reduced as well. A width restriction will also be in place throughout the work zone. Planned improvements include removing and replacing asphalt, repairing bridges, adding rumble strips, and mitigating a potential rock fall near Bozeman Pass. According to a news release from the Montana Department of Transportation, work is anticipated to be completed this fall. Little better news at the gas pumps right now. Today's current average in billing sits at $3.07 a gallon. That's down nearly 5 cents from 1 week ago and more than 50 cents from a year ago. Gas prices are also down across Montana, coming in at $3.16 a gallon compared to $3.18 a week ago. The national average has also fallen from this time last week, down 7 cents.
If you thought today was pleasant, tomorrow, if you like the warm temperatures, the sunshine, tomorrow's the day for you. It's going to be the warmest in the short term. It's still pretty mild on Wednesday, but we start to transition. The clouds start to build back in, allowing wind, showers, isolated thunderstorms, rain switching to snow as we get in towards Thursday. And that's going to be the most unsettled day here in the short term. Isolated thunderstorms by late Wednesday, but that's not our bigger concern. We're not expecting anything severe, just a pocket of heavy rain here or there, maybe some small hail. But look at the chance of precipitation. I'm going to push this out towards Thursday. All this purple shaded region, which includes Billings and Yellowstone County, up to a 90% chance of rain and snow.
We're still a little over a month away from Mustangs baseball at Dealer Park, but tonight the team's stadium is in the spotlight as safety improvements will soon be on the way for Dealer, although they will be costly. Tonight, Billings City Council voted to approve a bid to extend the netting down the first and third baselines. The push comes after 2 fans have been hit in the head over the last couple of years while attending games. Wind and Sun Protection earned the contract and will install $340,000 worth of premium netting that has an expected lifespan of 10 to 20 years. Crews will most likely begin the work this season, but between weather and games, that project will not be done until next season.